Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal, and this is the latest transfer news. According to reports, Arsenal are planning to make a move for Nico Williams. How much is his release clause and is he worth that release clause? We'll be talking about that one. Apparently, Thomas Partey could be on his way to Saudi Arabia. A lot of you would not want to hear that, but according to reports, that is what it's looking like it's going to be. And also the latest on Michael Olise, the latest on our left back situation as well. And let's get straight into the Nico Williams news. This just came out a couple of hours ago from Court Offside. Arsenal are planning to make a move for Nico Williams this month after following his development for some time. Sources have told Court Offside Arsenal's interest in Williams, who has a €50 million release clause in his contract, is driven by Mikel Arteta. So we were told a couple of weeks ago, just before, just after the season ended, that Arsenal are looking for a striker, but not really too seriously, but they could get a striker. But you're also looking for a winger, we're also looking for a midfielder and a left back. So for me, my list is midfield, striker and a backup for Saka. If you can get an extra defender who's worth it, absolutely no problem to have 8 defenders, 2 in every position. That is absolutely fine as well. But it's actually looking like we are looking for a winger. Now, what kind of winger are we looking for? Are we just looking for someone who's going to be a backup for Saka? Are we looking for a left winger? We already have Trossard and Martinelli. Could we see, Martinelli going to play on the right side and all that? We'll be talking about that as well. Or are we looking for, just someone who can play as a striker as well? A winger can also play as a striker and help out Havertz up front. What exactly are we looking for? Now, it looks like Arteta is after Nico Williams. How much is his release clause? €58 million, £49 million, according to this report. So, £49 million, is he worth that? Now, I actually think he is. It's not easy these days to get those players in those positions, strikers, wingers. It's not easy to, pay 20 million and then get a winger. It is not easy. It's not easy to pay 20 million and get a striker who's going to get you 20 plus goals. Those positions you have to pay premium. Most of the best players in the world right now, the likes of Mbappe, Vinicius, even Salah, even Saka, all those guys are wingers. And Liverpool, their prime during Klopp's time, Mane and Salah, those are the guys who are winning for them games. And you know what I mean? Like Saka, Martinelli, a couple of seasons ago, our best players. Saka still probably our best player up to now. Wingers, they can get you goals, they can get you assists, and they'll get you double figures in all of those every single season. So if you have a proper winger, like a Leao or Kvaratskhelia, you can definitely do the business. Now, are we looking for a winger like that? A winger who's going to take us to the next level, not just going to come in as a backup. Someone who's going to take us to the next level. Now, Nico Williams, I think he could do that. Last season, he didn't have the best in terms of goals in the league, but he scored 5 goals and 12 assists. That is still 17 goal returns. That is just in the La Liga. And in all competitions, he managed 8 goals and 17 assists. So in terms of assists, those are high numbers. Anyone who can get even more than 10 assists, that's high numbers. We don't usually hit those numbers. I think Saka and Odegaard are the ones who are able to hit those numbers, and Trossard, and he came in the previous season. But last season, he'd find 4 assists here, 5 assists here. It's not easy to get 17 assists, especially if you're not consistently on set pieces, free kicks and corners. If you're in free kicks and corners, every one of them, you can potentially get all those assists. But if most of your assists are coming from, dribbling and going past the defender and crossing the ball and getting an assist, and you just keep on doing that all the time, you're definitely going to put the defenders under a lot of pressure, the fullbacks especially. So this is a guy who's going to bring in, end product. That is what we need, end product. Now, Saka, Martinelli, Trossard can all do it, but you need extra. Whenever Saka went off, whenever Saka was missing games, because last season he missed a couple of games, especially a couple of big ones. He missed the Man City game at home, and he missed a game that could have won us the title at the end against Everton. We didn't really have anyone else to play there. We played Jesus on the right side in one of those games against Man City. We played Martinelli on the right side against Everton. If Saka gets injured again, you're like, okay, is he going to be Nelson? Is he going to be Fabio Vieira? We don't have anyone that we can say, okay, this one is the guy who's going to come and play there in that position. Now, Nico Williams is predominantly a left winger. So that is what has got me thinking. He's mostly a left winger. Now, he's only 21 years of age. He's going to turn 22 in July. So maybe you can develop him into more of a right winger, Ben White came to Arsenal as a centre back. He's now a right back, and within a couple of years, he's become one of the best right backs in the league. Timber came in at Arsenal as a centre back. This one he might end up playing the whole season as a left back. Havertz was a number 10 during his early days, but now he's playing as a striker for us. So all that can be switched. Saka was started as a left back for us, and now he's playing as a right winger. So maybe Arteta's looking at Nico Williams and he's like, okay, I can develop this guy into a different position, and he can help Saka on the right side. Or the other plan could be, because we've seen Martinelli playing on the right side a couple of times. I usually don't like it. I don't like Martinelli on the right side. I prefer him on the left side. But maybe on the right side, just runs past the defender and just puts in across right away. I don't know, but I prefer Martinelli on the left side, cutting in and putting in across and having a shot and all that. I think is very good on the left side, Martinelli. Trossard has also played for Belgium on the right side, but I prefer him on the left side as well. So we don't really have anyone who can really play on the right side apart from Saka. And Nico Williams is predominantly a left winger. So maybe you're going to develop him as a right winger to help out Saka. But that is not just a backup. If you're bringing Nico Williams to play with Saka on the right side, that is the guy who's going to come and provide more than backup. It's going to be a competition, because over at Bilbao with his brother, they've been doing incredible. He's very good in terms of dribbling. He had 25 attacking contributions last season in all competitions. So those are proper numbers, and at only 21 years of age, he can definitely improve on those numbers even more. Like if you give him consistent game time and all that, he can improve even more. Now, in terms of the odds of Arsenal signing him, I think Arsenal have like a 51%, I think I saw, in terms of signing him, compared to the other teams that are linked to him, like a Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich have like 29%. So if he does leave, Bilbao looks like your favorite to sign him. Now, he has to obviously want to join Arsenal. We have to have the release clause ready. So the other question is, do you think he's worth that £49 million? Do you think that is where you're supposed to spend most of our money? Still, we don't know how much our budget is. If our budget is 200 million, you can potentially get a striker. 100 million, you can get a midfielder, and you can get a winger like this, and you can get a cheaper left back. We still need sort of a goalkeeper situation though. And obviously there's players who look like they're going to leave. The likes of Nketiah and the players who are coming out alone, the likes of Lokonga and Tavares. So we might get something more in terms of our transfer budget, in terms of how much we can use in terms of transfers. So Nico Williams, breaking news, I guess you call it breaking news, 50 million release clause. It's so that figure there is different from this figure here. So let's just say between 50 and 60 million euros, around there, the release clause. So you're probably going to get an exact number, but it's around there. So 50 million pounds I would pay for him to improve that position, and have someone, just proper competition, because Man City can play Grealish and they can play Doku. Real Madrid, they can play Vinicius, they can play Rodrigo, they can now have Mbappe in the team. There's a lot of players who can play those positions. So Edu and Etan know that to compete with Man City, we are no longer competing for just top 4 and top 5. You have to keep on improving your team. That is exactly what you need to do. You need to keep on improving your team. You just can't be like satisfied with one player and then a backup who would take your levels a bit low. I'm sure Arteta would want, a backup would take his levels higher. You don't want, because when you take off Saka, I guess that's why Saka usually plays a lot. Can you really take off Saka and bring in Nelson against Bayern Munich? I don't think you can really trust that. So that becomes a huge problem. So Nico Williams could be the guy to come in and do that for us. Let us see. Could he be the first signing? For me, I'll go for midfielder first, but it depends on how much our budget is. If you can afford all of them, well and good, go for it. Let's keep on improving our team. Let's keep on trying to close that 2-point gap against Man City. So looks like Nico Williams is our favorite in terms of wingers. One winger that doesn't look likely to be joining Arsenal is Michael Olise, and this is the latest on him. Arsenal are not mentioned by David Ornstein as one of the clubs that retain strong interest in Olise. It's Man United, Man City, and Newcastle. Now, Olise's money is more. I think you'd have to be like 65 million for him. So again, I would have loved him at Arsenal, but it depends on what Arteta wants. Defending wingers as well. Maybe injury issue as well. He's been injured a few times this past 2 seasons, but he's still a very good player. Like I think a team like Chelsea would improve having him then Palmer's a number 10. I think they would probably create more chances, score more goals. But as long as we get a wing in any of those positions, really, even one that can play both sides, I don't care who it is. If it's an explosive one like Liao, Kvaratskhelia, or slightly cheaper like Nico Williams or Olise, whoever you're going to get, I'm also absolutely fine with. I needed to cover midfield fast, and then strike, and then winger. But listen, as long as it works, I have no problem. I trust you doing that. So in terms of transfers, let them do what they need to do. But Olise doesn't look like he will be joining Arsenal, for those who wanted Olise. There's also been talk about Eze, but again, that one as well, I don't know if they'd want to sell both of them. That will be pretty difficult. So for Michael Olise, that one is over.